The Coalition of Civil Society for Transparency and Accountability has said the proposed cybersecurity levy on financial transactions is of interest to the general public and Nigerians should support the policy. The convener stated the benefits to be derived from it and called on CBN to further educate Nigerians on it.
Let us expressly admit that many Nigerians are stressed and stretched and are therefore justified when they express displeasure and resistance to any form of levy or tax. Taxes and levies are not usually convenient for citizens, and this is a fact. However, the issue under discourse here is far more than the narrow and straitjacket perspectives that have been promoted in the media. Painful as this may be, this levy is inevitable if we must achieve the overall vision of the Cyber Crimes Prohibition, Prevention and so on Amendment Act 2024. We therefore call on all Nigerians to embrace it and support the implementation of this cyber crimes levy. It is, however, incumbent on the federal government, particularly the CBN, to provide the necessary enlightenment on this subject and to engage stakeholders in achieving a seamless compliance. Right now, the right information is not in the public space, and Nigerians cannot be blamed for regarding the levy with suspicion. As we now know, Section 44(2)(a) of the Cyber Crimes Prohibition, Prevention and so on Amendment Act 2024 imposes a levy of 0.5% or 0.005 of all electronic fraud transfer from the account from where the transfers are emanating. Many exceptions have been listed thereto in order to avoid levying where it is unacceptable, like on salaries, loans, link accounts, and so on. The problem with this levy appears to be more about misinformation, misconceptions, distortions, and even outright blackmail, mischief, politicization of the issue. For instance, many Nigerians have been misinformed that all their electronic transfer will be levied, contrary to the exceptions that are listed in the CBN circular. We must, as a country, never lose sight of the menace of cyber crimes, that is internet-assisted crimes, including fraudulent electronic mails, identity theft, pornography, hacking, cyber harassment, spamming, and automated teller machine ATM spoofing, which, apart from burgeoning in dimensions and an ever-imminent danger to national security, is also a wreck on the national economy. This affects our national economy, as the next paragraph will reveal. Global economy is expected to lose 10.5 trillion per day by 2025. This according to an international survey through international fraud known as Yahoo Yahoo. According to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, Nigeria is ranked 16 in cybercrime victims and internet fraud. And the internet fraud costs Nigeria as a country more than 0.8% of our gross national product, GDP, each year. This should bother us greatly, and we must be prepared to offer any sacrifice necessary to address the ever-growing problem and threat. Like we have suggested, government owes citizens a duty to explain this matter very well. It is a step in the right direction, but education is required. We need this levy. We need all the investment that we need to secure our cyber domain. Our cyberspace is very, very important because of the increasing incidents of cybercrime is always under attack, and we need to be ahead of them, and it requires this one. That should be the main discussion. Not all these discussions are going around, and we shouldn't lose sight of it. Clearly that we therefore support this levy in spite of the sacrifice we have to make. It's a necessary sacrifice for a larger national security interest. If we fail to protect our cyberspace from the menace of hackers and sundry internet criminals, the consequences will be dire, and it should be vigorously resisted and avoided. We cannot pretend that the internet criminals will be happy at any attempt to mobilize enough resources to keep the cyberspace fortified. They will resist it as they are doing now, and we bet they are doing so. only hiding under the cover of patriots whose opposition and argument are in good conscience. We therefore have to be careful to avoid being penny wise and pound foolish. It is an intricate terrain and we must navigate it with circumspection, wisdom, and tact. Let all citizens rally to this right path, but let government do its part to ensure that there is national cohesion and reasonable consensus in achieving it.
Uh, there is revolution in technology, artificial intelligence, and what have you. And most government transactions, government to citizen, are done digitally. It is incumbent upon our government to protect its own cyber domain because it is our national security infrastructure. That's why it becomes necessary. When you look at, for example, this issue of Binance cutting away through money laundering over $26 billion without being detected until when investigation was launched recently, it was uncovered. Even if that money is made legitimately and left the country, it's capital flight. It affects our growth here. So we have a responsibility as a citizen to support government to ensure that our cyberspace is protected from hackers, these criminals, those that launder our resources, take away our money and use it for other ulterior motives. And it will equally ensure that resources that should be judiciously utilized for the overall development of the country do not end up in the hands of miscreants who are undermining our national security, like Boko Haram, bandits, and what have you. So it goes along with that's why citizens must be enlightened and educated to understand the benefit of this thing to the continuous survival of this country. And we are going to the future. We're not going backward. Analog era is gone and gone for good. Very soon you will not be having newspaper. You're reading a lot of things online and as it is today. So we are transitioning. So that's why government citizens are expected to give all the necessary support for this kind of act to succeed. Thank you very much.